Shen is going to be taken away from xiyang, which makes a lot of sense.
See, there are bans that I agree with and there are bans that I disagree with. The Braum ban, yes, that was the problem. No, it's fine. It's a big comfort pick for meiko. I just feel like there are much higher problems, like higher priority problems than the target ban of the Braum. But maybe this means that S1mLz wants to go towards his Jhin. He's a signature Jhin player. He probably has one of the best Jhins in the LPL, and we just saw how impressive Def's was.
Well, in the last half of the game.
This is cool, though. So we were talking about this kind of between the break. Jhin almost has some pseudo-Ashe qualities in that how she's being used, or how he's being used in the LPL, is that he opens up his curtain call, and he just starts throwing out the shots as the slows, and then uses a chasing maneuver. Very similar to how Ashe would shoot an arrow to start an engagement.
Yeah.
So with the Ashe being banned and with the Braum being banned, this tells me that OMG are looking at that Jhin, and they'll get very similar qualities out of it that they did out of Ashe in the first game.
We'll see whether they prioritize it first up here for S1mLz. Or whether they have something else in mind. Rek'Sai's being banned away. We'll see what they decide to pick up first. Of course, Karma is still there. 5 playing the Thresh in the last game. Did fantastically well for the first portion of the series. Still a lot of options. Trundle's available. Maokai was banned. Sivir was banned in the last match. Is now xiyang thinking about heading onto the tree. And locks it in.
The OMG special, still that engaged sense. xiyang very comfortable on the champion. In response, though, we cannot let them have Maokai and Sivir. Deft, get on the Sivir.
Yeah.
Pack it up.
Oh, I mean, they can just hop onto the Trundle there as well if they want to, so can subjugate away all of those big tanky stats that the Maokai will be bringing to these team fights. But Karma being considered right now as well. They really do not want that augmented movement speed by the looks of things, and Karma locked in. There's the Sivir as well.
Adds so much safety, engage. That is an excellent... What is that?
I think it's a picture of some EDG boys on a tablet.
Were they dressed as champions?
I don't know. They looked like they were in some pale blue.
I thought that Pawn had the shoulder armor from Yasuo, and I think that was meiko dressed as Karma.
Well, that'd be adorable. And he's playing Karma now, so also very fitting. Juejue thinking about the Graves. 29 seconds to go as Nami, another champion that can augment movement speed. The only other thing we need is a Lulu, and then we've basically got everything apart from Janna.
So your options here are either going to be Bard or Nami. The difference is kind of long-range engage versus a priority on disengage. So Nami disengage heavy with her tidal wave.
Yeah.
Bard pick potential with his Tempered Fate. Likewise, the sustain that you're bringing into a lane. I still feel like we're about to get a Jhin. We're about to get a Jhin Nami.
And Jhin Nami is actually a really strong lane as well.
Don't you have a nickname for that?
Jammies?
Is that what it is? The Jammies lane?
It's the Jammy lane, yeah. Better than Nin.
I don't really like that name, but...
Ninny?
No.
You call it a Ninny lane if you want.
We'll go with it.
All right,
oh,
well.
Here we go.
Okay, EDG, thinking about what they want to do, and Skarner, once again, going to take the forefront. Into the Graves this time around, though. So Skarner locked in, and Ekko taken away as well. So Mouse most likely to be playing that one. Picking it away from Icon once again. Of course, Scout can play it.
Has played it recently. Yeah. Played it against RNG.
Yeah.
Looked good on Aurelia. Nice to see Mouse kind of solidifying himself as a threat.
And of course, looking at a potential last pick Trundle as well here for EDG. As S1mLz most definitely will hop onto the Jhin if given the opportunity.
We talked about how the bans kind of gave this one away, showed their hand early.
Yeah. Now, Icon, what is he going to be playing? LeBlanc being considered the OMG mid laner. I actually don't mind Ekko into LeBlanc as well, to be honest.
The nice thing is that Ekko does very well into Assassins just because he's going to eat all of their cooldowns. The issue is that LeBlanc's cooldowns are so low.
Yeah, that it barely matters.
Yeah.
Yep.
It means a bit more against the likes of Zed.
Well, now EDG. Do they pick a top laner? Do they pick a mid laner? That is the real question. see exactly what they do decide to take away. Lissandra being considered. Because I would prefer the Zed. That sounds like a lot of fun. And that matchup, Zed and LeBlanc, is probably one of the most fun to look at.
He is a Zed player. Obviously coming out of the shadow of Faker.
Haha, excellent use of shadows. Lissandra once again being looked at. Teamfight control.
I think they need the Lissandra. The reason being is that the hard engage potential and the hard CC, again, it's trying to get Skarner into a position to use that Impale.
Yeah.
Yes, you have deft there on Sivir to augment that, which is clearly what the Sivir is there for the Skarner. But it's just nice to have that extra frozen tomb.
Oh, and the single target movement speed from Meiko's shield as well into clearlove means that they can basically get any target that they want.
Yep.
Just run in, grab anyone, run out, super fast, then grab it on the hunt. You can continue the fight at that point, or continue chasing forward. I mean, this EDG comp, you can see exactly what they want to do with it on first glance.
It just makes so much more sense than the last one, so a healthier draft than last time.
Even though it still has a Skarner, which is incredibly exciting. So looking over the side of OMG, Icon back on his signature assassin pick. There's S1mLz Jhin 5 on a very powerful bottom lane here as well. We'll see whether Deft and Meiko decide to go toe-to-toe with the Jhin and Nami. Whether we're going to see something switched up. There's Mouse back on the top lane Ekko. Now, coaches shaking hands. Let's get into game number 2 between EDG and OMG. Thank you, clearlove, Skarner extraordinaire, as we hop onto the rift for game number 2 between OMG and EDG. OMG now on our blue side. We'll see whether that can help them get to victory here in the second match of this series. EDG came back from about 9,000 gold down off some incredible team fighting. We'll see whether it comes down to that again or whether EDG can have a better laning phase this time.
Well, they've certainly empowered their strengths by having a team fighting composition.
Yeah. And actually, a bit of a change-up in the Keystone Masteries. That's a Deathfire touch on Lissandra.
Also, a Warlord's Bloodlust out of Sivir.
Yeah. And that's a Thunderlord's Graves as well.
We're just going everywhere.
Yeah, we want some damage here. And S1mLz actually decided to go for the Deathfire touch as EDG look for a lane swap.
This is cute. So, Meiko and Deft stepped forward. They made eye contact with S1mLz Jhin 5.
Yep.
They said, I'm the captain now.
From across the room.
Threw the boomerang, faked him out, and are now running to the top side. In response, OMG are doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, trying to get up there. Ooh, actually, just setting themselves up for some sort of potential pick, maybe. As this game goes on, we shall find out whether they are going to be successful. Looks like no one's heading over there, though. As they move back down towards the bottom side. Will they grab the 10 gold?
This could be a very similar scenario to what Vici did, picking up those 2 early kills as they start Gromp.
Yeah, and they're moving down here. S1mLz actually hiding himself as well. They might be able to trap them in as Mouse taking a fair bit of damage. clearlove will be able to grab this one with a smite. Does lock that one down. Now they're moving back. S1mLz is going to find Mouse. He throws out a Time Winder. Oh, and grabs one of the creeps. That is definitely good news, and I believe gets the experience for the next 2.
Now off to join. clearlove will have to be careful because 5 is still poking his head around.
Oof, that was close. Yeah, 5 as well. Clearing himself out one of these Skarner pillars. Actually very good for slowing down the clear speed of a Skarner at the same time. It's being annoying. We'll see whether he can get the big wolf. Oh, there's another smite. And the wolf spirit is going to chase the Nami out of the jungle.
Well done. On the other side, OMG actually... Okay, so they took their blue camp. So 2 camps for each one. Actually, 3 camps. They also managed to grab the wolf camp.
Yeah, nice.
for a second the Wolf Camp was still up there, but he must have been pulling it and dragged it out. So advantage to juejue.
And we'll see whether they can actually utilize that one. Of course, Graves wanting to probably farm a little bit more earlier on. But Skarner as well. I mean, in a similar boat. But it does have a huge amount more of these jungle creeps.
I like the fact that EDG have made the conscious decision to look for the lane swap here. Again, Skarner doesn't have the greatest gank pressure until post level 6, just because he's really reliant on gap closers to get him into position, as well as his hard CC. So by looking for the lane swap, by opening up the map, by trying to take down these towers as quickly as possible, it also helps isolate the jungle matchup a little bit. So you're not really reliant on just allowing Maokai and Graves or Graves and LeBlanc to just abuse standard lanes. The jungle is being hidden, they'll get more power before they face off.
And OMG look to actually be winning here as far as taking down this turret is concerned as well. xiyang waiting for all of these creeps to die. Actually going to be shared between the Sivir and the Ekko. And I believe the Karma, as the money goes down. xiyang, however, is going to get all of it as this one falls. clearlove on his red buff will have his smite available as well, as we saw. Oh, nice distortion comes in as Icon not going to be able to find the chain onto Scout. Scout actually trading back excellently here against the LeBlanc for the moment. But not exactly finding the farm as easily. There's a couple there just go wanting.
Starting to set back up to swap sides of the map, both top laners trying to pick up what gold is available to them. In fact, xiyang is cheekily standing in a brush in bottom side.
Yeah.
So could open up some kill pressure on Deft if he's not careful of that twisted advance.
Yeah, Deft actually walking down here. Juejue's here at the same time. Is meiko going to move around? There's the flash. meiko gets out of the way at the end of the line, and of course you have to respect that red buff. xiyang now backing. Deft did not take the bait.
Important to note that he was able to get level 3, so he started that at level 2. So yes, the CS and the gold went over to S1mLz, but making sure that he had a level to take up into the top side.
Now OMG with this wave pushing back into them as well as Deft moves in, grabs himself what farm he can. 25 to 28 at the moment, but that wave is pushing towards OMG.
They're being really cautious because they still don't have eyes on xiyang.
Yeah, bubble is going to go wide as Deft now decides that there's no Maokai here. Boomerang finds S1mLz. clearlove's going to make his way in. Only level 4, no Impale to threaten. But when level 6 hits, Flash Impale is going to be a big deal for this OMG roster. Deft now looking to shove this wave very hard into the turret.
Not a lot of priority going to the dragon right now. Again, it is just a cloud dragon.
Yeah.
As Scout actually pulling the trigger on the TP. Again, should be noted that EDG, per usual, are running the double teleport versus Icon having that ignite.
Well, there's the Frozen Tomb actually, as Icon has to distort his way out. Has to flash there as well, so they get the flash for just the ultimate out of Scout.
Deft also walking over.
Everyone trying to kill that LeBlanc. However, not going to find too much more than the flash.
Kind of curious if they were going to go for an objective, either dragon or possibly look for damage onto that mid tower. Instead, it's just going to take the flash summoner. Yeah,
and clearing out vision there as well towards the bottom side, as reload mechanic is frustrating for juejue underneath this turret. Now the wave pushing back into EDG. And they're happily just holding onto it there as well, not deciding to throw ricochets through this minion wave. Want to just get some control of this area. Now Time Winder's flying through. Mouse, on a very comfortable champion of his, is so far ahead of xiyang.
Yeah, xiyang lost a lot of time to farm and a lot of power when he was trying to make that play bottom when S1mLz and 5 were walking into the back of the lane.
Yeah.
Mouse got so much free time top lane with farm. That's where you're starting to see that big discrepancy. There's also a big experience disadvantage, level 6 to level 4, so xiyang is at this Ekko's mercy currently.
Yeah, currently just trying to stay in experience range, but not necessarily being able to pick up as much farm as he would like. Thankfully, saplings for a bit of ranged clear is going to be a good news story. This minion wave now going to crash, and Ekko's backing. We'll see whether he uses the ultimate in order to get himself all the way back in here. Yep, there he is. So Chrono breaks his way back through. will have himself the item advantage here at the same time.
And continuing to apply pressure to xiyang. Graves on the bottom side of the map, not around to assist. Should now be walking towards that top side.
But definitely good news for OMG as far as the AD carry farm is concerned. 51 to 65 right now. S1mLz going back to base. We'll be able to finish the serrated Dirk. We'll see how close to that Ghostblade he is going to be. As there's the Flash Twisted Advance. Mouse throws down the parallel convergence, but the chains have landed. And that shield is not going to be enough. First Blood comes in as a chains proc, and Icon is the one that picks it up. That is big deal news for OMG.
Yeah, had zero support to make a very aggressive play like that from Mouse. Good heads up awareness from juejue and Icon to collapse right there. So LeBlanc will pick up her blue buff as well as that First Blood, but Scout looks for some sushi, doesn't find it.
Yeah, it doesn't. Ward goes down, spots EDG's play. Now Icon moving over. Does have a couple of stacks on his Dark Seal here. Now he's clearing out minions. And actually the bottom lane's going to go back there as well, as you can see. Item disadvantage. Deft and Meiko don't want anything to do with it. Sightstone comes in, and that's a BF sword here for Deft, so that is huge.
And that's a lot of the momentum lost for EDG. So they had this window where they could have made a play on Icon not having his flash. Yes, it's still difficult because you're dealing with the LeBlanc, who can have the double distortion. But by losing a lot of the advantage that Mouse had from him feeding over by blue buff, and then losing your back timer to bot lane as your mid laner gets back into position, just kind of a very awkward timer for EDG to deal with.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. And that lead that Mouse had is almost negated here. As you can see, xiyang looking for a teleport. He's going very deep on the bottom side. Curtain Call comes in, looking to slow down Deft, who doesn't get away from this tree. He will fall down. xiyang is able to pick up that kills. Icon now looking for Meiko. Is going to be able to find it here as clearlove trying to do some work. Juejue is going to be the focus. The one target that they can actually lock down, as Scout does have the ult, is just going to use it here. It's a 1 for 2 in favor of OMG.
But OMG do have the creep wave and are continuing to pressure this inner bottom tower. Now EDG looking for the flank.
Yeah, Mouse trying to find his way in there as Scout is going to find his way over once more. EDG can't quite get in. But of course now with the bottom lane making her way through, looking a lot better.
And that was the cool interaction for S1mLz taking the Jhin. Again, they banned the Ashe as well as the Braum, which opens up a cool power pick for Jhin. And he acts as a pseudo-Ashe. As soon as the engagement was coming in, he drops into his ultimate. And yes, it's not a giant enchanted crystal arrow, but it is applying a slow multiple times.
Yeah. And it was enough to lock him down in time to give xiyang the flanking play and get him a kill to get well and truly back into this matchup. He was already doing fine after that initial kill under Mouse. And now he's feeling brilliant.
Something OMG as an organization have always been very good at, and in terms of their identity as a team, is they've always been a very creative team in terms of their draft.
Yeah.
So again, you have to think back to the beginning. Even though it's a completely different roster, you still have kind of the same brand leaking over. The LPL was dominated by strong AD carries, in particular Wei Xiao. And then OMG came out of nowhere and didn't prioritize an AD carry. They prioritized a top side of the map and used incredibly creative drafts to destroy a very strong Chinese meta around the AD carry. And we're starting to see, again, that brand retained over the new iteration of OMG.
Well, at the moment, juejue able to take away that Cloud Drake first up. Ocean is going to be the second one. So with that movement speed, OMG will see whether they can get around the map better. Improve how this is going. Already going quite well. As Captive Audience not going to proc there as clearlove makes his way through. Level 7 now and does have the Flash Impale available. There it is. Pinkwall comes in. EDG clear that one out. And clearlove going to continue moving back.
Teleport? Nope, just back. EDG needs to get out of these lanes. Their comp is not empowered here. They're strong as soon as these towers fall down, as soon as they can start abusing Fog of War with Lissandra, and start abusing the chase potential with Sivir, Karma, and more importantly, Skarner.
Skarnabs.
There we go, Karma, Skarner.
Skarma. Well, Scout, you can see, walks back to lane, has his Abyssal Scepter completed, but it's in answer of Icons, which is also done. clearlove here, very tanky with his Cinderhulk already done, but that's Berserker's Graves as well as the Warrior Enchant here for juejue, who's very strong at the moment on the Graves. 14 jungle creeps in the lead. Not something that's too worrying here because, of course, Graves farms very, very effectively. And there's the Mantra Q. Finds 5 for at least the initial damage. And juejue's here. EDG have to be careful. There's the curtain call one more time. Deft slowed down, has to use the flashes. clearlove is going to pick up juejue. Lots of damage onto Deft, who uses the heal. juejue exhausted. Meiko picks up the first kill. Teleport now to come in from Mouse and from Scout, who's going to find his way down. S1mLz running past, does have the W there as Scout picks up the kill onto 5. Deft fell down to S1mLz though, who is able to make an escape. There's going to be clearlove chasing him down as Scout now. You have to be so careful as Icon looking to find his way through the creeps, but there it is. clearlove picks up the kill into S1mLz, and Meiko, he's burning to death. Scout still looking for more. Can he get enough buttons in? Icon gets the double, and OMG clean up so nicely. And
in the end, it is going to be a 3-for-3 trade. No other objectives kind of swaying this one way or the other, although clearlove might change that.
Yeah, Distort has to be used, but that's the last of the mana on Icon. Crystalline Exoskeleton, not enough movement speed here for clearlove, especially with just those brown bags. And that is 8 stacks on the Dark Seal here for Icon as well. So,
but this is not a situation you want to be on EDG's comp. Again, they're the ones running the double teleport, and the overall play still was equalized. 3-for-3, because the play extended for so long that Icon was able to walk from mid lane to get involved.
Yeah. And that's exactly what a LeBlanc wants to do. It's clean up low health targets with all of your extra mobility. OMG now with this wave pushing back towards EDG. Deft now wanting to wait for it. We'll see whether once again this is a situation where EDG need to team fight their way back into the game. It is nowhere near the deficit that they had in the last game. But OMG with a different comp this time as well. They can play this one out very differently from game 1.
They just need to get out of the lane phase. Again, their composition is so empowered in a 5v5, and the more open the map is and how they can play around vision and chase potential, pick potential, catch potential. There we go, catch. Let's go with catch.
Yeah. juejue as well continues to keep position after stealing away that blue buff. They will have the timer on that one as well, so 5 minutes time. We'll see what OMG can do.
OMG really thrive in sieging scenarios. Yes, they have tools to look for flanks to be okay to match EDG in a 5v5, but they really want to set up where they approach a tower, the Jhin ultimate opens up, LeBlanc is being used to kind of burst and push people off of towers.
Well, in goes Meiko. There's the flash. They want to find S1mLz. Dodges out of the way, and S1mLz is going to get singled out. Nice double bubble there from 5 to try and stop this one. xiyang makes his way into the backside. Mouse looking for S1mLz. Gets it as clearlove is actually the one locks it down. It's the double kill on the bottom lane as the Skarner is going nuts. Deft is still trying to run away. It's a really nice shield, but it's not enough. The bottom lane falls on the side of EDG. Frozen Tomb comes in as Icon is going to get destroyed by Mouse. The Scout is still trying to fight this one out. clearlove has been going for so long as now Mouse can't really stay in, and xiyang is very tanky. Timeline to just slow him down. That is going to be an even 2-for-2? 2-for-3 in favor of OMG.
And no one really being able to deal with Skarner in the middle, just kind of wiggling, super tanky, causing a mess, disrupting everything. The double TP wasn't available for EDG this time around as we go ahead and take a look back at this team fight. Again, the pick of Nami into Karma I think is quite clever because you're trying to slow down the engage coming in. 5, a bit too overzealous though, trying to create space and time for xiyang to come in and get the flank. Not quite as safe as he would have thought. Immediately gets deleted on the part of this fight, but check out juejue. Just huge burst damage, right time, right place, and takes care of EDG's 2 carries.
Yeah, saves that collateral
bottom
damage.
Lane. And then just in the back half of this is Skarner, wiggling.
Can't catch up to the Graves as he quick draws his way to safety. Not too many turrets falling down. It's 1 apiece still after that lane swap at the beginning, but look at xiyang's damage. Jeez, that's ridiculous. Oh, Deft now in a whole host of trouble. He is going to fall. juejue battling some creeps, but he is going to win that duel. Deft is not exactly having the series of his life.
No, definitely not. Getting caught out multiple times, not just in this game, but like you said, series, also last game.
Scout actually getting ignited here. We'll need to head back. There's the claw.
Has his TP. Again, the issue is that last team fight, Scout did not have the double TP to be there with Mouse.
Well, now Meiko trying to help clear out this minion wave. Of course, one of Karma's strengths is killing creeps. Icon going to shove another one in there. So Icon's looking very strong right now. Has himself some extra cooldown reduction. clearlove going to make his way over. Grabs himself a ward after getting bubbled for a moment. Isn't going to be too worried about it. The blue buff is now going to go into the hands of Icon, who helps xiyang out, taking that one down. OMG now moving over. Cross-map plays here as the dragon is already falling down. EDG will find their way in as now clearlove's going to make it a 50-50. It is locked down by juejue as Scout makes his way over the top. There's the flash as juejue getting taken down low. There's the heal. Comes out from S1mLz and clearlove. He just picks up S1mLz and takes him away. It's the collateral damage that finished off the kill onto Scout. And I don't know how, but OMG managed to find the come-round kill. Icon falls down. Oh, it does manage to get the kill into clearlove, sorry, as Mouse gets bubbled one more time, and 5 just seems to be orchestrating these team fights. Icon over the top. Meiko has to be careful. Mouse moving in here as well, as he will probably be able to lock this one down. Nice heal comes in from the empowered W, but it's not quite enough, and now Mouse trying to make the big play onto Icon. Does he have another dash? That is the question. Nope, not before Icon gets out.
clearlove had a massive miscommunication with his team. So we're going to go ahead and look at this replay. Check out how long clearlove holds his ultimate for. So he doesn't want to impale juejue because he thinks that his team will be able to kill him. But this allows the Graves to get off so much damage over the course of this fight because, like you said, 5 keeping him alive, that when the impale finally does come down, it's like, why not just layer the CC and try to burst this guy? So not really respecting the power of the Nami and making sure that team fight went longer than expected, which is why EDG lost it.
You can see Icon really making use of the money that he's earned so far this game as well. 4,000 damage in that last fight. Massive in comparison to anyone on EDG. Not having the game that they're looking for.
They're not having the series that they're looking for. Again, at another gold deficit. EDG behind both times. EDG have a ridiculous stat where 90% of their games, they're ahead at 10 minutes and at 20 minutes.
Well, it's certainly not the case this time around. clearlove will be tanky as this game moves on. It was his first death that he actually succumbed to last time. Still clearing out vision. He's very tanky. Spectre's Cowl building towards an armor item. Let's see which one it is going to be. Now helping defend this turret. clearlove looking for juejue here. Does have his impale as Tidal Wave comes through. Scout actually looking for S1mLz. They get a lot of damage down, but Scout is going to fall as xiyang rockets his way in. Icon. That's not going to be the real one as Mouse has found it, but Icon's still able to lock him down. Nice stun comes in from clearlove, but that is the only kill in response to the top laner and mid laner that have already fallen for EDG.
And this is where OMG's composition thrives. We talked about it. They're kind of a siege composition. They open up the final curtain, they look for the poke damage from Icon, and then they just slowly whittle away these towers after they've gotten you to back off of them. So OMG understand, again, their win conditions, as they did in the first game. Now it's about execution. clearlove now caught.
Yeah, once again, another great pick-off here as clearlove gets sped up straight into a bubble. Deft is doing a fair bit of damage in this fight as xiyang is able to lock down that kill as Meiko looking for the snare, but it's not quite enough. S1mLz picks up one. Scout had teleported in. There are low members on OMG, and Scout has the AoE damage, but they commit. They commit to exactly what they know they can do. Deft finds himself some extra mana, but 5 still able to tank the boomerang just fine, and OMG just seem to know what they're capable of.
Coming back and trying to stave off OMG on the back half of these fights, but still, gold lead growing.
Most certainly is. Approximately 5,000 now for OMG. 22 minutes into this game. juejue having a brilliant performance so far on this Graves. More of Malmortius already done. clearlove, despite, you know, he was 3-0-4 when they were at 7 kills. I mean, this Skarner was doing work, but it's just not enough. As you can see, Deft desperately trying to get to his second item, but he probably wants 3.
Hecarim was available. Like, let's think about everything.
Gragas was available.
Let's think about everything that Skarner does.
Heck, Evelyn was available.
Can also do.
Yeah.
He's going to be able to gank more effectively earlier. He's going to be tanky as well through itemizing damage. Has great sustain. He's also very healthy in the jungle due to his W. The only thing he doesn't offer is the suppression.
Well, it will be useful against Icon, who's become pretty big right now. It is an 8-2-2 LeBlanc.
I understood the theory of the Skarner into the Hecarim. I got it in the execution, but
well, apparently it's just a pick that clearlove really likes.
We've seen this before, and it didn't work well for EDG's playoff run in 2015 summer.
No.
That was, in fact, the time when they didn't, or they got knocked off in playoffs.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
And it was a QG LGD final.
Mm-hmm.
The worst run that EDG have ever had in their history was the Skarner patch. Just throwing that one out there.
Yeah, just wasn't a good time. OMG just giving them, just a few nightmares from that one. Icon moving around, and they're able just to clear out everything here. Clearlove's on top of a ward. Still very tanky. They're not going to be able to necessarily pick off the Skarner all that well, but...
You don't need to pick him off, they just need to stay away from him.
Yeah, and it's pretty easy to do, because he just sort of lumbers at you.
Well, he's got a Karma and Sivir, so it shouldn't be easy to do. It's just that EDG have never been in a position where they get to chase anyone.
Oh, Curtain Call going to come through. We're going to clear out this minion wave. clearlove is going to make it out.
The immediate fear and respect from EDG.
Yeah. Well, that's a big cooldown now that OMG do not have.
Dragon spawning in 10 seconds, though. This will be the big 5v5. EDG do have a better priority on it. In position faster. It's Infernal. Again, this is where they want to be. Playing with Fog of War. Looking for the pick potential. Using this Lissandra.
They've got the Skarner power. That is a big deal. As you can see, OMG now trying to force EDG to move up the mid lane. They might actually have to sacrifice a good position here as the ward goes over. EDG clear it out immediately. Raptor Sense is going to proc. As now OMG have their opportunity to move towards this Dragon Pit, and EDG have moved all the way out of the way.
Just getting bullied and worked off of the Infernal Drake, and they're going to go ahead and give it up.
Yeah, so can't actually make anything happen. EDG back to base now. Deadman's Plate's done for clearlove, as Icon and Scout still just trading blows. But OMG with all these dragons, so scary for EDG fans. 6,000 gold the lead, 25 minutes in. No Barons looked at just yet. I have a feeling now OMG going to be feeling a whole lot better about it. Icon looking for clearlove. It's a pretty optimistic one to go for if you're a LeBlanc.
Unfortunately, I think S1mLz's ultimate cooldown is bugged.
Ah, yes. Can't quite see when it's going to be back up, but it will be relatively soon.
Okay, there we go. It's very important, though, to have that ultimate available. Again, this is how their comp works in the Siege. They open up the ultimate, they push everyone off, and then they start opening up opportunities for Icons to look for those flanking pick plays.
Well, Mouse now looking for a potential flank himself here as clearlove has found juejue. Can they complete the kill in time, though, is the question as Scout throws down the ultimate onto himself. Juejue makes it to safety as Mouse right in the back line, uses his ultimate, gets out, and EDG, their engage has not worked. It's now OMG's turn if they'd like to. As the curtain call has found Mouse and clearlove for a couple of shots, not doing too much damage, and Icon looking for the flank. This could be huge.
This is disaster for EDG.
Yeah, the Mimic is available. That is a massive amount of damage as Icon does have to flash. He got exhausted pretty immediately, but look at how huge xiyang is. So much damage here out of the Maokai, out of every member of OMG, and they're under the inhibitor turret now, fighting off EDG. Mouse looking for Icon, doesn't find it. Back to his distortion. As now gets stunned up by the W out of the Jhin. In fact, no one's died, but the tower falls down and OMG take the lead.
I mean, EDG, they threw everything that they had at Juejue's graves. They threw the Skarner ultimate, the Sivir ultimate, the Karma speed up, as well as the Frozen Tomb. The Frozen Tomb did not go down on Graves, but the engagement was all used at the same time, and he just ulted himself out of it. Beautifully played by juejue. After that was done, no cooldowns are left, just a free, easy tower and cleanup from OMG. Again, in complete control of this game, another 8k gold lead. OMG, if you lose this, I'll be shocked.
Completely shocked. There's Scout now getting some position. There's a sapling in there. xiyang gets snared up. As there's a twisted advance. Scout can't use his claw to get out. But never mind. Deft now augmenting his damage with another BF sword, looking for that Infinity Edge as best he can. We will be looking at this Sivir as the late game comes in, because a lot of this damage that's missing is the fact that Deft is not ready to tear apart the members of OMG just yet.
Also not finding the engagements that they want. Icon's still a massive problem.
Yeah. And EDG are going to have to play immaculately if they're looking to pick this one up. And we said it last game. They can certainly do it. Now these Skarner pillars getting back into the hands of EDG.
Much better race. They haven't tripped yet. Okay, they sprinted out of the gate again.
Yep.
They're in the mid-race point. They're closing in on the finish line. They've got it in their sights, Atlas. They just need to ward up this Baron, make Icon look for a pick, or don't even go near the Baron. Just continue to use your big siege comp. But you have to make sure that you place your flanking vision appropriately, because Scout could really ruin their day if he gets into that back line.
Yeah, clearlove as well. I mean, if he gets a flank, that could be very scary. However, now, EDG.
Okay, they're going for the triangle vision.
And Scout splitting on the bottom side. So double TP. Definitely helping EDG here. S1mLz clearing out minions in the mid lane, trying to create another pressure point. But Deft now with a lot of wave clear. As you can see, Ricochet helping out as Mouse fighting xiyang, but it's not doing anything at all. And it's the battle for the Skarner crystals. And it is going to be won by OMG.
They're trying to get all of their waves pushing forward for them. I think OMG are still a bit hesitant, a bit gun-shy to look for this Baron, although as I say that, they're actually going to pull trigger. Very clever ward from EDG being highlighted by our spectators there.
Yeah.
I call that the Baron Gate ward. Usually it's placed on the top side, but EDG actually placing it on the bottom side. Not quite as effective, easier to place or safer to place from red side, but it can be spotted out by a pink in the pixel brush.
Oh, it's now a two-man Baron, down to about half health as the teleport is coming in here. Scout has pulled the trigger as clearlove right in amongst it. He's gone down incredibly low already, and Icon is going to be able to pick up the kill. Collateral damage doing so much work as xiyang now in exactly the right position. And Scout couldn't do anything. He tried to follow the claw, thought about it, but it just wasn't going to be enough. And Mouse is going to fall down as well. OMG, with this gigantic tree, just look unstoppable.
And they just decimate EDG. Beautifully played. It was another Baron setup play, but this time around, they're not caught out. They're able to execute on their composition. With clearlove dead, that's a free Baron, and that's closing into a 10k gold lead for OMG.
Yeah, 9,000 exactly here at this stage. But it's not about that. It's about the fact that they can just take down so many turrets now and dive with impunity. Look at xiyang. He just doesn't take damage.
And clearlove is unable to get anything done as Maokai just zones off 4 members. S1mLz opens up the curtain call, just starts laying down massive amounts of damage, and more importantly, that's slow to allow his team to continue to chase.
Not to mention the snare from the Deadly Flourish as well towards the end there as EDG now moving back into their jungle. Baron buff helping OMG out. And this would be one hell of a comeback if EDG could do it, but I just don't see the way in this stage.
I mean, we can never discount them simply because it's kind of like a wombo comp.
Yeah. But I mean, I feel like you throw all of the wombo you want at that Maokai and he just ignores you.
I don't even think it's Maokai. Like, Maokai's a cool part of it because he's such a strong front line. But what's really cool is how Nami is creating space in between the front line and the back line of OMG's composition.
Yeah.
Because, again, immediately the tidal wave comes out. So, yeah, you want to try to get around that Maokai, and as soon as his Twisted advances up, you can actually just kind of run past him. But it's the Maokai, and then right behind him is this giant wave, making sure that you've got nowhere to go.
Well, you can see Deft does finally finish his Infinity Edge, but OMG, they take down turret after turret here. Deadly Flourish flies through. clearlove takes a fair bit of damage. You can see Claw actually takes Scout over the top. Icon in trouble here as the Frozen Tomb comes in on top of Scout himself. Icon gets to safety as now juejue and xiyang looking to try and create a front line out of themselves. Deadly Flourish comes in. Mouse gets caught up. However, no one going to fall just yet. Curtain Call comes in. Meiko getting targeted out. As S1mLz doesn't find all of the shots. Scout takes a massive array of burst from Icon.
But OMG can be at this all day. Not only do they have the Baron buff, but having those double Ocean Drakes, the regen. Yeah. They can continue to just attempt siege on these towers all day, now moving up towards the top inner, as it would be much easier to siege into than the inhib mid.
And you can see S1mLz just keeping his eye on EDG. juejue getting some wards over the top. And EDG will be optimistic to fight for this one. But Deft is pretty big. does have the 3 items that he needs to do a lot of damage in an AoE setting. There's the Karma Shield. OMG all over this turret. Nothing EDG can do.
Just slowly being suffocated out of this game.
Yeah. Grab themselves a red buff there as well. S1mLz is the one that picks that one up. Juejue, sorry, xiyang going to stick around towards the top side of the map and keep this wave pressured in. clearlove gets into his jungle, tries to clear out as much as he can, but I mean, that is 80 creeps in the lead for juejue. He's got a Bloodthirster, as well as that QSS. He can't be the target for this Impale anymore. Now they're diving in. Turret is going to fall down. It's now Mouse looking for a way into the backline. Scout doing some work there as well as Deft runs back to the fountain. He will be able to get back into this fight as clearlove flashes out of the way. Mouse as well. Able to slow down a lot of members of this OMG roster, but the inhibitor is going to fall down, and that's all they wanted. Icon now looking for Mouse. Oh, the chains land. Will he fall down as uses the ultimate, gets himself back underneath the turret as collateral damage comes in, flashes over the wall, and S1mLz picks it up. That was ridiculous. Don't even know how he quite managed to get there. At EDG, they lose their top laner and their top lane at the same time.
Yeah, nowhere for Mouse to go. I don't know if you caught that. I think 5 threw his ultimate backwards. But the siege continues.
Yep, and there's the engagement. xiyang has found his way right into the back as clearlove in a lot of trouble. Deft flashing forward. 5 is going to fall. As now Scout and Deft are on the wrong side. The claw goes through. xiyang. Yep. Now just going to be able to lock down the kill onto Scout after his Zhonya's wears off, and Deft running the wrong direction here. OMG could possibly just move towards the top side of the map and follow those super creeps in, but they want to take down this inhibitor turret in the mid lane.
They've just won the game. The Dark Forces never give up. OMG are about to take a map off of EDG.
And we'll see whether they can do it after this inhib falls down. Nope. Looks like there is going to be at least one more wave for EDG fall as clearlove and Scout still yet to respawn.
And we're going to have a highlight of S1mLz looking for this kill on Mouse. He's going to go ahead and burn the flash. Not quite to safety, though, right on the line of the ultimate range.
And I feel like he could have actually walked out of the way, but nevertheless, isn't able to, and that is a Mercurial Scimitar now completed for S1mLz. Deft has a last Whisper, so he's at least doing some damage, but it's a bad news story at the moment for EDG. 13,000 gold to lead for OMG. They're just waiting for their next opportunity to wander into the base and take this one down. It is 140 on both the Dragon and the Baron. And that's as Zhonya's completed as well for Icon. This guy's got 6 items. Big deal alert.
He's 11, 2, and 4, so he's been a big deal for a hot minute.
Yeah.
So it looks like they're actually going to go ahead for 3 inhibitors.
OMG not looking to give EDG the same opportunity that they had in the last game in order to find their way through. Scout, Haunting Guise completed. They're in damage control. They're in desperation items right now for EDG. Meiko going to get snared up. That did so much damage, that Deadly Flourish. Now EDG will see whether they can defend themselves. Super Creeps now coming in as well, and this is what OMG do. They just sit back, siege you out. Possibly just go for the dive when xiyang feels like he wants to. As there's the curtain call, clearlove tanking up a fair bit of it. Mouse will get himself a shield from his parallel convergence. Nice triple stun comes in as well, as there's a lot of QSSs then burnt. xiyang now tanking up the turret. Huge frozen tomb comes in as Icon can barely fight this one out anymore. Juejue in trouble. 5 as well, falling down low as Mouse is able to lock that kill up. xiyang now falling as Deft has to put some attention onto this tree, who gets himself onto Meiko. Icon now out to the side. Can he actually do some work here as there are towers just falling down? Scout knows that he has to defend the base, but EDG managed to win the fight.
But they have a bare and open exposed Nexus, so it's almost too little too late. That said, miracle team fight from EDG right there. The fact that Scout and Mouse found multiple targets with their CC. OMG just not respecting grouping up a little bit too tightly.
Deft is actually starting to do some damage. It's a big deal, but yeah, you're right. Open Nexus is so scary. 2 inhibitors down. I mean, they were taken a little while ago. We'll see whether they will respawn in time, but let's have a look at this engage.
So this starts out with the fact that Mouse hits multiple people with his parallel convergence, and because all of those QSSs are burned, you then see the big damage come down from Scout. That's a massive frozen tomb, and just allows enough time for EDG's carries to get in there.
And then he manages to Zonya's all of the AoE. As OMG now looking for a Baron. His inhibitors still yet to respawn. OMG can probably just send one person there and almost secure themselves a Baron, because EDG have to defend their base.
Likewise, the Elder Dragon is also in play. So if OMG aren't feeling their chances just with the Baron, they can very easily move over to the other objective.
Well, I have a feeling OMG are probably going to grab themselves both. Hope to God that that last situation does not happen again.
So this is the Spartans. This is where they hold them. The Baron, the Elder Drake, the, what is that, 12k gold?
Yes, 13th, yeah, 12,000 gold lead.
Can they do it?
I don't know, Froskerin. They did it last game, so I'm not ready to say that EDG are out of it yet. But right now it looks very dangerous.
It was not to this extent, though. Like, OMG had a lead last game, but this is
ridiculous, yes. Well, Elder Drake going to reset for a second, but eventually is going to be taken by juejue. So that is a hell of a lot of regen, a lot of stats, a lot of movement speed, and a lot of fire.
Good news for EDG fans, your top inhibitor has respawned.
Yes. This is definitely a good news story.
Still have to deal with one of those waves, but here we go. Double Ocean Drake.
Coming at you. Infernal Drake there as well, doing some work.
Okay.
There's the curtain call. Nice shield comes out of meiko. One of the bolt misses. clearlove tanks up one of them. Deft gets hit by another. Uses the spell shield as xiyang. Tanking up a lot of damage. Tidal Wave doesn't find the Sivir. Look for Deft as Icon finds his way in, but Frozen Tomb immediately comes out. meiko is going to fall as Deft flashes away from juejue, but they have to keep them away from the base. clearlove relatively tanky, but OMG tearing apart this fight. It is going to be Scout falling down. Mouse falls as well, and now the Nexus open and bare is going to fall. EDG crumble in the hands of OMG.
Deft did what he could, but there were too many carry threats at the end of the day. The fact that it wasn't just the 11, 2, and 4 LeBlanc running around trying to find that flank on him, but a massive Bloodthirster jungle Graves to also deal with.
And maybe after this, EDG will realize that perhaps Skarner isn't the best option, or maybe Ekko isn't the priority top lane pick. I don't know. I think there are yet still